What's up guys, I'm here and today we will talk about the RTA Epic ESPER tier list and what my thoughts are and opinions are regarding the Epic ESPERs during the RTA warm-up match event we had a couple of weeks ago. If you didn't watch part 1 of the video where I talked in depth about the legendary ESPER tier list, go check that one out too as well. Let's dive in. So what I did here is a different approach. I ranked every unit already preemptively, and we will start from basically top to bottom what I think about them. So on number 1, first place, we have Pandora. So Pandora was quite one of the strongest picks in RTA the last season. She did a phenomenal job in any sort of tanky composition or whatever, just to deal as much damage as possible. And the fact is that her boxes don't even scale with her attack, but in general with the HP of the opponent's units, making her tanky, makes her such a great unit. And you're putting boxes on basically every opponent's unit, and they just basically lose half the HP show. So she's very, very great. She offers so much. She has the dispel, she does a lot of damage, you can build her fast, she's tanky, and she also has an attack debuff. So overall a great unit. In my opinion, the strongest epic ESPER during the RTA season. On second place we have Dhalia. I mean, Dhalia is kind of self-explanatory. Dhalia is one of the units that enables speed cliff comms. She has her AP boost, AP push on S3, 25% speed boost. I mean, attack buff, crit buff. In the second skill you have some sort of control, and overall very good utility. So that's why she's ranked so highly. And then we have an interesting spot, and we have Long Mian. So while Long Mian is one of the strongest epic picks, or was one of the strongest epic picks during the last season, is simply because not only does he have control with his freeze, the attack, the AP push manipulation, and also the speed debuff, but he has a 20% speed lead, and that is huge. So when fighting against someone, picking a Long Mian, and you don't have and he does not pick another speed lead, or he actually has another speed lead, you actually have to think about, okay, what's going to happen? So if someone picks a double speed lead and you, let's say, ban a tier or Ollie and let the Long Mian through, which is quite fine, right? And the other person bans your speed lead, you have kind of a problem, because your opponent still has the speed lead with the Long Mian, and most of the time he's used in a speedy control team. And I tell you, people who use speedy control teams, they treat your team like they're doing Infinity Tower, like you're a raid boss they're trying to defeat without you even getting a single turn. Next up in the high tier range, I have Bonnie. Bonnie did a fantastic job, especially when you don't have a tricky, or you don't want to use Lucas or so on, and especially with a recent buff, what she provides is actually really great, because you have the buff strip, you also have the skill ups, like the how you call it, like a skill reset for one turn with her She provides a lot of utility. I think most of the time she's also used in some sort of speedy control team slash speed cliff team as well. That's where she fits mostly into. She's very, very amazing at what she does and what she offers, and she's also a great addition into these sorts of teams. So Asenath is also ranked highly because, I mean, we have like what, 4 or 5 nowadays AP pushers in the game. Mainly, I mean, the main pushers are Clara, Unis, and Dhalia. So, but not everybody has a Clara or a Unis besides the Dhalia, right? So, especially when you're using maybe some sort of speed cleave or even a control team, you know, you're, instead of using a Clara or an Unis, people like to use an Asenath and to compensate for that. So that's why she's also ranked highly in that regard. So I do believe what will come to you as a surprise is that Fabrice actually is ranked this highly in his tier list, but that's because Fabrice is actually very, very underrated, and especially in RTA, I saw one guy who used a Fabrice with like a 300 speed set or so. It's like super crazy because you cannot underestimate the power of a Fabrice to just simply 100% AP push one of the nukers. It's very, very powerful, and if you don't know how to deal with it, and especially in the pick and ban phase and the draft, he can be very, very difficult to handle, especially with the immunity he provides and the invincibility as well. So he's very, very powerful. Pritzker, no surprise. Pritzker also sees play in a control setup with the skill reset to deal with specific comps, right? It's most likely, most of the people like to combine units like Long Mian, Pritzker, a Bonnie, or maybe like a Clara or a Dhalia, something like that. Then also, next up we have Ren Si. Ren Si, I don't think is a surprise at all. Ren Si saw a lot of play during the RTA season in tank compositions together with a Hyde, with a Donor. I mean, basically whatever else with Clara, Tricky, Gabby, and so on. Like, you saw Ren Si all the time. And you didn't just see Ren Si all the time because people just had him, but he was just very good in what he did. And especially with RTA, where like the AP reduction is quite strong, like you're a couple of turns into the fight and you're already getting HP debuffs. He's just getting strong over time, and especially with the standoff and with the defense break and the taunt. Very, very, very great unit. Taylor also in this list, very strong pick. I mean, he counters Cecilia's. He will get stronger now with Abigail coming into play. Overall, very, very good all-round DPS unit, especially also with his passive to when he kills a unit, an ESPER, that he gets another turn. Can be very, very powerful in the right composition, so he can kill a lot of units. Guang actually proved to be also a very good unit in RTA. I mean, she has the AP push, she actually does decent damage with her S3. She's able to take out Hides. With her skill 2, she can just strip buffs, and with her S1, she's able to cycle through her turns more frequently, get her S3 back up, and cycle through it again, and AP push your whole team. Very, very great unit overall. Then we have Zhong Nan. Zhong Nan did not see any play in RTA, but that's because he's a new unit. And based on the kit he has and what he provides, I do believe he will be very, very powerful there for the people who are lucky to have him. In the high tier range, we have Xander. So Xander's also, most of the time, Xander's also mostly picked to counter Hides. That's from experience I have seen so far. It's mostly when people have no other answers to counter her height, or they say, okay, I saw the matchup a lot of times. I actually am not interested to ban the height but banning something else. So I actually want to fight the height. So that's why they're bringing Xander. Lin Xiao, also self-explanatory for Speedy Com. She's very powerful, does AoE damage. Does a lot AoE damage also with the AoE defense break and the speed debuff. She does a lot of damage on skill 2 and has some damage in skill 1, but overall in like some sort of speed cleave she's used just to provide the initial AoE defense break and for your AoE nukers to clean up the rest. And then a surprise pick as well, we have actually Stewart in high tier. Yes, you don't believe it, but I have seen Stewart in action. And you know what Stewart is able to? Yes, he one-shots heights. S3. With his S3 immediately one-shots heights. I think you are seeing a trend here. If a unit is able to deal with a height, he's automatically ranked higher. And I mean, yeah, that's what basically the last RTA season was. Odette is just a hunch from what we have seen so far, or from what her skill set offers. She has like a lot of, I say, control, debuffs and so on. I do believe that in the right composition it can be quite powerful, so that's why I ranked her in the middle of the high tier rank. Not below or not lower or higher than that, but we will see with the next RTA season how she performs. But she will also see a lot of play because everybody has her because of the event. She's a free-to-play unit, right? So and also she's Shimmer, so that's why I do believe that she will see a lot of play, and we will see how she performs there. Last spot here we have Luo Yan. Luo Yan, also very good pick to counter also heights, or not even just heights, but also tank compositions, because he has the same side like the HP cap debuff. He provides some sustain and so on. Overall, a decent unit, not ranked that highly, but still decent. Then at the bottom of height here we have Chloe. Chloe, I mean, also self-explanatory, very, very strong, but she's not higher than the other units. And you're questioning, like, why? Very easy. So overall, you have to think about, like, everybody has some sort of 5 stars, right? And Chloe only sees play in speed, like in a YOLO team. Speed cleave YOLO team. That's where she sees plays. But the thing here is with Chloe is her skill 3 is just too RNG based. You are not sure, you cannot be sure who you will kill, right? And if you kill, it's really just RNG based who she decides to hit, except obviously the first hit where you target the unit. But besides that, she's a little bit too RNG based for RTA, and especially in the higher ranks Apex. And does also see sometimes play to counter heights. You see the trend here, right? I mean, overall still a very good DPS unit, but especially in a 4 versus 4 format, not as strong as in a 5 versus 5 format. In the mid tier we have Jiang Man. Jiang Man also kinda sometimes rarely sees play. I mean, she does in Nether Blooms, probably played mostly on Zeus. Does what she does, but not as quiet and not as powerful in RTA than in other type of content. Then we have Alice. Alice is also, Alice is simply just a PvE queen. That's what she is. She's a PvE queen. She just does not really see play in RTA. I mean, if you don't have anything else going on for you, then you might as well use her. I mean, she has an attack and crit buff and the speed buff as well, and she has that assist skill on her as one, which is good, but not as powerful in RTA. Then also one of the MaTeIRiA units is Nicole. Nicole, even though she has actually a great skill set, I would say, like you have S1, you have the Seer, S2 you have the Soul God, which revives units right after they die, and also with her skill 3, the AoE defense buff for your team plus a invincibility as well. So also what one of my clubmates used to do just as a fun comp for RTA was using Alice and Nicole together, because Nicole used her skill 3 buffed invincibility to everyone, and Alice just extended that one, so the other guy couldn't do anything for 2 turns, which is quite powerful if you run those two together, but it has to work out, and if one of those two gets banned, it's quite GG for the other guy, or they have a strip like a Tricky or a Raven or whatever it is. But also Nicole could see play in some sort of, I'd say, some sort of speed cleave, like you use 3 DPS, a Dhalia, for example, and then Nicole, and then together with an Ashley. So basically what happens, Dhalia gets banned, then the Nicole has to be super fast, and if the other guy in his team has the other person has a stripper in his team, you have to ban the stripper. So when the fight starts, Nicole moves first, buffs invincibility on your Nucus, and then the other person moves, can't do shit because all your units are protected with the invincibility buff, and then your Nucus can go. That could potentially work, but it's still iffy. The lower mid tier we have Xiao Yin. Xiao Yin, I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, I know he has invincibility, like his invisibility buff. He does good damage, but he's just not good enough for RTA and doesn't see play. Laura also not great. She's just a big meat shield, and besides being thick, she does not really offer anything. And in the bottom tier we have Kara. Kara's only there, so we have a bottom tier at all. And also I saw her once and she didn't do shit. So that's why she's ranked there, doesn't offer much with her poison and so on. She's good in Sentinel Hunt, but not for RTA. And the rest one I didn't even bother to put into the tier list because they did not see play. And when I talk about that, when I say did not see play, is because when you play an Apex Legend or Diamond even, you just simply don't see these units. People use way stronger units. I mean, the people I did not, the units I did not rank right now, they might see play in bronze, rank or silver, maybe gold, but once you go above like starting of diamond, you don't see shit of those. And in Apex you don't see most of the units, you won't see anyways. So that sums up the whole thing. In case you watched the whole video, I speed up everything today, so it's not a 45 minutes video like the last one. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and a comment down below. Let me know if you enjoyed the video and the explanation I gave. And see you in the next video.